Hi, welcome back to the Hong Kong-Taiwan Friendly Cup 2016. We are streaming round 3 of the Swiss. So I'm Edward Cheung and my partner is Johnny Tse.
Hi guys.
So the third games we will streaming the games between LEUNG from Hong Kong and LEUNG from Taiwan. So Liu's teams in the screens we can see that is Big Six variants with Cresselia replacing the Talonblade.
And Edward Cheung is using a team with Groudon, Rayquaza, Ferrothorn, Suicune, Crobat, and Smeargle.
Wow, it's a real Rayquaza and Groudon's combinations, which is relatively weird in the current matters. What do you think about the matchup between the two players?
I've seen a lot of Radon teams these few weeks which have Scarf Groudon instead of holding a red or primal Groudon, and that would be pretty dangerous for the opposing Groudon. And Cernius can't really hit Groudon, so that will be pretty nice, I guess.
Yeah, and this week could utilize the airlock the abilities of the Rayquaza and do massive damage against the Groundons.
Suicune is something we can also look out for because it has Tailwind, which can help set up speed control.
Yeah, we can see that there is two Tailwind users from LEUNG's team. It's Suicune and also Crobat. Alright, let's jump to the games. We see the Salamence Groudon lead from LEUNG.
And LEUNG will send out a Crobat and his own Groudon.
So, Intimidate from the Salamence, and we'll see which side is doing the primary reversions first. It's LEUNG's side. So, LEUNG's Groudon is primary reverse, sending the Sun to the field, and it will be LEU's side.
Right, so the lead matchup tells us a lot about the speed stats of the different Groudon. This could also potentially be a speed tie between the two.
True. So currently, I think both players is going to set up the Tailwind in the first turns.
Of course, Crobat does have a taunt, so it could potentially taunt into the opposing Salamence to prevent Salamence from sending the Tailwind.
But the eruptions from the opposing Groudons or a Fire Punch onto the Crobat would be a problem too.
Of course, the opposing Groudon would be scared of the other Groudon, which potentially is a special variant, which might have Earth Power or Precipice Blades to hit the other Groudon. Especially since it's faster.
So let's see what's going on. And Salamence is going to go do the Protat,
and it does not Mega Evolve, which is very interesting.
And a Tailwind from the Crobat. And we see the hidden power from the Groudons of LEUNG and the Earth powers of the opposing Groudons. One hit KOing LEUNG's Groudons. So, setting up the Tailwinds from LEUNG's side, were they able to make the very the advantage to Thin?
It's not very advantageous for LEUNG at the moment because he just lost his own Groudon without dealing any damage output whatsoever.
Yeah, it's often very painful to do so.
And unless this Rayquaza has Waterfall, he doesn't have too many ways to deal with the opposing primal Groudon.
So, although setting up the Tailwind successfully, is still losing the momentums.
I'm curious to why the opposing Salamence didn't Mega Evolve though.
Maybe
is it not carrying a Mega Stone, or is it trying to conserve that Intimidate?
And we'll see that Rayquaza is Mega Evolving, bringing the Delta Stream to the field, removing the effect of the Sun. And the Salamence is also Mega Evolving, staying in the field.
So it is carrying its Mega Stone.
Now, Rondon is using the Protect this time. And we'll see a Dragon Meteors onto the Salamence. One hit KOing the opposing Salamence. The critical disk doesn't matter, indeed.
Yep.
So it's a life of variant. So actually, everyone should be aware that in the Grandons Rayquaza combinations, most of them would use life of Draco Meteor variants. So the Cresselia has the access of Icy Wind, Thunder Wave, or Trick. Should be able to do a very disrupting road against Leung's side. But we see the switch out of the Groundons, and the last Pokemon of Liu's side is coming in.
So what will this Mega Rayquaza
We
do?
see a Super Fan onto the Cresselia, bringing it half of the HP, and a Citrus Berry brings it back to 75% of the HP. A Dragon Ascent onto which Pokemon? Should be the Cresselia, but I think it's not able to pick out the KO. Oh, barely.
Barely. And it also dropped its own defenses as well.
Which is quite a danger against the
Icy Wind comes out from Cresselia. That will reduce the speed of both Rayquaza and Crobat.
So we'll still have one turn of Tailwind from Leung's side.
Xerneas is in a pretty good position right now. It has full health, and the opposing Rayquaza doesn't really threaten it that much.
So Leung is switching out his own Rayquaza, and the Smeagol comes in.
He probably wants to conserve his Rayquaza, as the only Pokemon he has that can deal damage output is that Rayquaza.
And the Super Fans goes into the Protect. We'll see the Ice Wind doing a fair amount of chip damage to Leung's Pokemon. So, Crobat, the booty boost is an attack boost and special attack drops. It's quite immaterial. But what will Smeagol brings to the field?
Will it fake out that Cresselia? Will it fake out that Xerneas?
Or even a direct Dark Void?
It could even transform into the opposing Xerneas.
True. Smeagol is still one of the most versatile Pokemon under the games. We see the Y Guards coming in.
Probably fearing a Dazzling Gleam from
But
Xerneas.
the Xerneas is using the Moon Blast instead and knock out these. And the Tailwind finally comes out from
The Crobat.
the Crobat. But another fantastic play from Neil. We see a Trick Room instead. Rayquaza coming in, bringing up the Dallas Stream, but that should be the game's.
Because now Mega Rayquaza is the slowest Pokemon on the field, and Xerneas is free to Dazzling Gleam and or Moonblast. Once it gets rid of the opposing Mega Rayquaza, then that will be game.
But I think the Moonblast on this Smeagol is a fair move. If I were Leung, I would use the Spiky Shield if there is Spiky Shield.
Right.
So we are going to game 2 very soon, but not until either Leung's forfeiting the games or Liu's locking out both Rayquaza and Crobat.
But
Groudon
game one,
switching in once again, and the Desolate Land brings the sun back.
game one has been very offensive on both sides, with
Yes,
not
especially
very protect coming out.
the Earth Powers and both and their Draco Meteors, both one-hit killing both the opponent's Pokemon.
Yeah, that's one of the unique things about VGC 16 is that a lot of the Pokemon are so powerful that they have the ability to knock out the opposing Pokemon in one hit.
So,
And LEUNG does not want to play that out, so he decides to forfeit and go straight to game 2.
So, audience, you are now watching the Hong Kong-Taiwan Friendly Cup 2016, and we are streaming round 3 of the squeeze between LEUNG from Hong Kong's side and Liu from Taiwan's.
If you didn't watch the last game, LEUNG is currently using a Rayquaza Groudon core with Crobat, Suicune, Ferrothorn, and Smeargle as the other options.
Now, it's quite tough decisions because Cresselia is doing a very good job against LEUNG's teams.
Yeah.
Maybe he can bring his Ferrothorns, but under the sun, I don't think Ferrothorn is a good option.
You think we have a chance of seeing Suicune in action? Because Suicune with Rayquaza can hit that Primal Groudon pretty effectively.
And Suicune might have the access of Ra, which can prevent the Cresselia from using the Trick Rooms or could just boost the service out of the field.
Suicune also has the option of Tailwind, which is the same function that Crobat brought to last game.
So we still have some time left. And it seems that LEUNG has chosen his Pokemon. So we'll wait until he makes his own decision. Alright, here comes the game 2. So Liu brings a Kangaskhan Cresselia.
A totally different lead from the last game.
And LEUNG also brings Suicune's Groudons. And what I observed is that Kangaskhan is using a Dream Balls that possibly gave him the access of Inner Focus or the Scrappy.
Yep. The thing about Kangaskhan is that all Kangaskhan are female, and so when you breed that, it definitely comes with the type of Pokeball that it inherits from its mother.
Yeah.
So what will this Suicune do?
The fake out pressures on LEUNG's side is threatening.
But then if LEUNG does choose to fake out, then the opposing Cresselia is free to Trick Room or
even
set
Icy
up
Wind.
something. Yep. On Liu's side, I'm expecting Groudon and Xerneas in the back.
We see the Mega Evolutions from Kangaskhan. Both sides keep the Pokemons in the field. And the Freak Out is going onto the Groudons.
Yeah, both of the opposing Pokemon don't want to take an eruption from
A Tailwind is going from the LEUNG side, but we will see it. Icy Wind or Trick Room, and we see the Trick Room.
That's a pretty good play by Liu's part. expecting a tailwind from Suicune and reversing the speeds by usage of Trick Room.
你選入啦，如果我嘅話，佢會嗌笑嘅。好用咁多段
It's a very, very tough position on Learn's side.
I think it's pretty interesting on Liu's side because setting up the Trick Room is pretty good for Liu because his Groudon can come in and be fast and move first, but have a slower speed stat than LEUNG's Groudon.
Yes, it's obviously using hidden power options of Groudon is Groudon should be a timid one. So, a very...
Kangaskhan is also a pretty big threat.
So we see a switch out of the Suicune, and Rayquaza is coming in, bringing the Alloy to the field, and we see the helping hand from the Cresselia, and the double edge, oh no, it's the return, is launched onto the Grounders, is able to pick up the KO. No, it survives one hit, but the eruptions only do a very minimal damage of 1 HP to each Cresselia and Kangaskhan.
Yeah, I'm not sure what LEUNG was expecting there with the Groudon on the field. Would he have wanted to sacrifice his Rayquaza to keep his Suicune?
But the mind games, from a mind game perspective, LEUNG's is really being relikable.
Yep.
So we see
Double protect,
and Icy Wind from Cresselia, and a return from the Kangaskhan.
Probably wanting to stall out Trick Room because Trick Room is not advantageous at all to LEUNG.
But there are still 2 rounds of Trick Room to be stored out. I wonder how would he going to store it. Although he could switch in the Smeagol this time. And hope that
we haven't seen that last Pokemon from LEUNG's side. It
maybe
could be Pheromone.
Maybe it's a Pheromone.
I think this is a pretty tough spot for LEUNG to be in right now. With his Groudon at 1 HP, which he lost on the first turn last game, he just can't do any damage out of it.
Did 2 HP damage to the opponents. So, LEUNG's decided to switch out his Rayquaza into his Rayquaza. Hoping another helping hand.
Yeah, helping hand and return is a pretty good combination because double edge on Kangaskhan is not good for the long run because
so return
it'll take a lot of recall from that double edge.
Returns attacks on the Suicunes and the Citrus Berry. And then we see the Earth powers from the Groundons. Quite a clever predicting plays from LEUNG's side. At least he can steal.
It does do some damage rather than using its eruption. So it's an uphill battle for LEUNG because all of his Pokemon under Trick Room have to take massive damage from the opposing Groudon, potentially in the back, and this Kangaskhan.
But the Cresselia should be the first to move to the Trick Room, so I wonder if the Cresselia would attack onto the Groundons or Suicune itself. Well, just
using Icy Wind from Cresselia could knock out both Groudon and decrease the speed of Suicune. With
one turn is acceptable for Liu's size. And we see the protect from the Groundons. And a Tailwind setting up once again from the side of LEUNG's. And you see the Icy Wind.
That does almost no damage to Suicune at all.
But the returns is going to. Is it able to knock it out? Yeah, it does.
Yep. So we will see Rayquaza come in paired with this 1 HP Groudon.
1 HP ground. It's possibly. Alright!
Oh no, it's not Rayquaza, it's
Smeargle is
Smeargle.
coming instead.
And with Tailwind set up,
Smeargle should be able to outspeeding both Kangaskhan and Cresselia.
Yep.
And Cresselia has revealed his item to be the Citrus Berry. So if the Dark Void is going to connect it, both of Leo's Pokemon is going to sleep right away.
and that leaves Groudon free to attack. Oh, but it switches out for Rayquaza. I think what LEUNG is trying to do is, if it gets a Dark Void, then it can probably set up a Swords Dance or a Dragon Dance or whatever boosting move.
The last ice? Oh, but the Cresselia is not connected with the Cresselia. But as I said, the Groundons require combinations. We often see this free attacks options. So a painful turn to LEUNG's side.
Yeah, because the Mega Rayquaza was a switch in, it does not have the Delta Stream ability, and the 4 times weakness to ice.
We
means that
see
it
a
does a lot of
speed
damage.
boost from the Smeargle and a special defense dropped.
Will Smeargle go for another Dark Void, or will it have
I'm sure it's going to use a Dark Void once again, with the advantage of the speed boost and also the tailwind, so as to prevent Cresselia from using Trick Room or another.
And what will Rayquaza do?
Rayquaza is going to Mega Evolve.
Will it target down the Kangaskhan from half its health, or will it go for that Cresselia? Because Cresselia, as a very bulky Pokemon, also is very essential to Leo's team as well.
Your helping hands? That's not a good option in my opinion. Because if it's going to use a Dark Void, if the Smeargle is going to connect with the Dark Voids, it must be sleeping next turn. So a misplayed from Leo's side, were they able to bring back the advantage to LEUNG's side?
The extreme speed from LEUNG was also pretty interesting. He probably does not want the defense drops from Dragon Assault.
And it fortunately is a critical hit. So Groudon's coming in.
If I remember correctly, Tailwind is in its last turn, so at this point Smeargle is... Oh no, this is a faster Smeargle than the Amazing Groudon is.
Yeah, and also there is one speed increase, a speed boost from the Smeargle. Very interesting turns, because Draco Meteor may be able to finish out the Groudons with 1 hit. Depends whether there is any investment in the defense, special defense, or the HP.
But no matter how much special defense has on the Groudon, Draco Meteor will do a lot of damage to that Primal Groudon. If it connects.
Yeah, if it connects.
And remember, the LEUNG also has his own Groudon in the back, which is faster and has Earth Power.
So, LEUNG is going to use the Dragon Ascent onto the Cresselia, bringing down its HP to around 40% and initiating
The Citrus Berry.
and will HP is going back around 60%. Yeah, a crucial play from LEUNG's side, knowing that his Groudon is going to protect all
the
the ways.
Smeargle gets the evasion boost.
Yes.
As we saw in round 1 of the stream, evasion boost really can make life difficult for the opponent.
So we will see another Dragon Ascent onto the Cresselia or the Dragon Meteor. What would we see? A Protect from Rayquaza? I don't really think it's a good move this turn. But Dark Voids connect all the ways and Groudon is put into the sleep. Cresselia continues to sleeping.
佢起身打笑永撞唔死啊！
The Rayquaza doesn't have too much to deal with the opposing Groudon, to be honest. Groudon can definitely take a hit from that Rayquaza, barring Draco Meteor. And LEUNG also has one more Pokemon than that.
唔係，嗰個都係冇用。冇用啦，做化佢㗎啦，死啦！同我對你天賦嗰啲唔同，我嗰條揾到好多，對你撞得差唔多好，我都冇話。
So we see a Dark Void, but very interesting. The Dark Void outspeeding both Pokemon.
Now Cresselia goes for the Icy Wind,
And
which will pick up the knockout.
Groudon continues to sleep. And we see another speed boost from the Smeargle.
There's not much that Smeargle can do at this point except for spam Dark Voids now. And with Groudon at 1 HP left, it doesn't seem likely that LEUNG will be able to win this game.
So it should be the second game should be going to Liu's side. So though the Dark Void connects, I don't think LEUNG could get an uppercut once again. And the Groudon is using the Earth Power onto the opposing Groudons. It's not able to knock it out.
Yeah,
Probably,
I think it has a bit of special defense investment.
but the opposing Groudon continues to sleep. And all the boost in special defense and the drops in speed.
係㗎，幾勵志。嗱，即係雙保護食咯，然後咧神速佢。
So we finally see the Y God from the Smeargle. But why didn't he use the Y God when the Rayquaza is still on the field?
I'm not sure about that.
And I really doubt the plays from LEUNG's at that moment. So, and another evasion boost from the Smeargle. So, will the Smeargle Groudon combinations be able to take out both Xerneas and Cresselia? Do you think
Barring
so?
a transform on this Smeargle, I don't think there's any way that LEUNG can win this game.
Yeah, especially the Cresselia with Earth powers, eruptions, and hidden powers. Oh, both miss. So,
But then the Moonblast comes out into the Smeargle. Without Smeargle's Wide Guard, then there's no way to prevent the opposing side from doing damage.
and
Earth Power does have, and with Trick Room up, Groudon is definitely dead within the next 2 turns. Not really, you can protect.
So congratulations to Niels from Taiwan side for winning the third games of this match. So, hey, hello here, I'm Edward.
Hey, I'm Johnny.
So after the 3 games, there are still 2 rounds of splits, and we will proceed to the top cut stage. So what do you think about the last game?
The last game, I think that LEUNG failed to strike a balance between playing aggressively and also conserving the HP of his Pokemon. Especially that Groudon, who is the main damage output from that team. And if in game 1 we saw the Groudon was OHKO'd in the first turn, and the second game it was at 1 HP very early on, which was very disadvantageous to his team.
Yes, we can see that the big six variant is still very dominating in this format.
Yes, it is.
Though it's already the last month of
Yep.
that's
Because Cernius and Groudon are so powerful and heavy hitters. I also think that LEUNG might not have been that familiar with the Radon team, and if it's his first time using a Radon team, it also plays a factor into the plays that he made.
So I think that the Radon team is slightly advantage against the Cresselia-based Big Six, but yes, but the Cresselia is still the biggest problem for
The Cresselia was the biggest problem.
Yeah, it can has the assets of the Icy Wind and also the Trick Roll, which
Yeah.
is very problematic for those sides.
And failing to get rid of Cresselia in the first two matches made him lose the game and put him at a disadvantageous position. Remember game 1 when he tried to double target the Cresselia with Super Fang and the Dragon Ascent?
And it survives.
Yeah.
So let's conclude the third games here, and we'll be back right in the fourth games.
Yep.
Stay tuned.